Hi, everybody. It looks as though we're live. I didn't even say hi on YouTube right away because I was actually so busy listening to this really cool podcast of Bruce Springsteen talking to Jon Stewart, and I kind of got carried away. It was great, though. So, hi from, obviously, I have Canada being represented and New Jersey, Michigan, okay. And I know I probably have other countries that I have not even looked at yet. But, ladies and gentlemen, the exciting news that you may or may know about is that we are continuing drawing faces with France into November. And that is going to basically kick off whenever November starts, either on during that week. I'm not sure what the day is. But if you want to pick up that class plus another one of my classes, we still have a 20% off promotion going on at Sktchy if you use the code Faces with France. So that's good. There's also another one going on ending soon. That's the buy one, get one. Is it? Hold on, let me try to get it right. 80% off, right? At Sktchy as well. So, get your hands on some classes while we have these promotions going on. This is really a good time also. It's going to get cold out. We're going to be more inside. I think all the leaves are coming down today and the lake is looking really dark. But it glistens in the sun. It's actually really beautiful. All right, so are you ready? Today we're gonna draw on the iPad. I'm gonna draw on the iPad, okay? And I hope some of you will too. I hope Jenny, Ute are gonna grab your iPads. Nikira, are you drawing on the iPad too? I hope so. So yes, more Saturday lives. Tina, you're here. I'm so glad. Oh my gosh, everybody is here. This is so exciting. Oh wow, Seattle, Washington, excellent. Arizona, excellent. Jenny from California, yay. So yes, we are continuing into November. So I am going to draw in Procreate. And those of you who are as well, follow this with me because I'm going to show you how to customize a little brush that I absolutely love in Procreate. But because it's a calligraphy brush, it does that thing that you guys all know about. It happens with the chalk brush also. It's that thing where it seems to kind of like bounce and doesn't really like do exactly what you want it to do because of the calligraphy aspect of this. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's open Procreate. And also, I would like to show you, I did like a quick little warm-up, by the way, of our muse today. Our muse is Sarah Malkawi. And I'm going to draw Sarah probably differently than what you see here. But this was my way of warming up and also to have something to put on Instagram to do, hey, last call for the live. So I have like a 16-second time lapse from that. But I was also practicing that brush earlier this morning. So, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, here's what we're going to do. Let's open a canvas, okay? I usually like the default vertical that comes with Procreate. Love it. It's got the perfect dimensions for what I want to do. That's what I'm choosing today. And under calligraphy, so can you please do this with me? We're going to choose a brush. Okay, let me now switch cameras. And I would like you to see this. I hope you can see it well, okay? So we're going to pick our brush. I have it saved in favorites, but you are going to go pick it up in calligraphy in case you don't have it yet. And under calligraphy, my gosh, there are a bunch of really cool native brushes to Procreate. The one that I'm going to draw with today is the shale brush. So ladies and gentlemen, can you see shale brush under calligraphy? So I'm going to move this up a little bit now. Okay. And I'm glad that some of you are using pencil. Rick, I'm so happy you're here. Hi, Rick. How are you? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are in my October class right now, you will see that this week, which is the last week of the October class this week, well, Rick is going to make, again, an appearance as a muse. Okay. So, all right. Ready, everyone? Shale brush. All right. And what we're going to do once we select the shale brush under calligraphy, we're going to tap on it. And now we have all these settings for the brush, right? We've got the taper, the shape, the grain, the rendering, wet mix, blah, 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 blah. Let me actually close this curtain a little bit because I think it creates quite a bit of shine on my iPad. This is pretty unnecessary. Okay, are you with me still? The screen is about as clean as it gets. Okay, so we're going to choose first the stroke path. You see the stroke path right here, which is the first option for a brush. So the stroke path, right here, you're going to find that the spacing, there is none. Jitter, there is none. Fall off, there is none. Okay, cool, fine, whatever that means, right? But the streamline, however, is pushed to 79%. And the streamline, if you try your brush, is what creates this little, like this thing that grabs your brush. You know what I mean? So what I'd like you to do, if you don't like that feature about those calligraphy brushes, because when we draw, they tend to sort of stop the brush from doing what we want to do, then I would like you to take your streamline and push it all the way to none. So push it back. And that way now what you're going to do is, let me try again. Sorry, I canceled by mistake. Now what's going to happen once you cancel that, your brush is going to behave like a regular brush as opposed to like a calligraphy brush. Okay? Yes, Rick, absolutely. Mention your giveaway on Instagram. I would love for you to do this. So I'm going to put you up on the screen so that you can talk about it while I get ready with the canvas. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, your streamline should be 0. So I'm going to put back the streamline because I've already saved that brush. I've already duplicated it and put it in my favorites. So this is where I'm going to go pick it up. I'm going to go in my favorites and pick up my shale brush from there. It's called Shale Brush 1. Okay, so Rick, feel free to advertise what you need to advertise. That sounds good. All right. And me, in the meantime, I'm going to just monkey around with the brush just a little bit to see if I've got the right width. Okay. All right. Just making circles right now, just and ovals. You know, just to loosen up my hand a little bit. All right, I think that's good for me. All right, so Rick, hopefully you can tell us a little bit about that Instagram giveaway that you have going on. In the meantime, I'm going to raise my camera just a tad so that you guys can see the entire canvas. I think this is a little better. Okay, and while Rick is doing his thing, I'm going to see who I have today. Dylan, you're here. Hi. Oh, nice and inky, right, Dylan? Yes. Cool. It definitely doesn't beat your inks, Dylan, but my goodness, you know, Procreate has so much to offer. It had to be a Procreate day today because of the rotation of the 3 media that I use in my class. Okay. Oh my gosh, Rosie Berry, you are here. So glad you are here, Rosie, because you were such a great muse to us during week 3 of my class. I absolutely loved drawing your face, and I hope you saw the amazing results also from everybody at Sktchy. Hi, hi. All right, so here's Rick's giveaway. I'm going to read this out loud too, okay, Rick? I have a giveaway going on Instagram over $120 worth of art supplies. All you need to do is follow me and tag some friends in my post. Just a little thank you for all you guys. Oh my gosh, Rick, this is great. All right, I'm so glad to hear this. Definitely a great way to give back. Okay, so guys, I'm going to start. If you're ready to start with me, please do, okay? I've got my screen split, not 50-50 as I usually do. I have Sarah on the 25%, you know, side of my screen, and my other side of the screen is like the 75%. Okay, so Rick, thank you for the giveaway. And if you want, I can also echo that on Instagram. Okay. And those of you who have not seen where Sarah is located, you can see Sarah, the muse today, our muse today. The photos are available right underneath this video. Okay? And again, don't forget that Drawing Faces with France is continuing into November. I'm really excited. We are just going to roll into November without waiting for whenever the first Monday of November is. And we're just going to keep right on going so that we have a live every Saturday. By the way, everybody, this is the 32nd live that we've been doing together. And I know that some of you have been with me for all of them. And I thank you so much for being a part of my weekend, for getting us through confinement all these months that we were inside and we had all the stay-at-home orders. And doing this on Saturday has been really a lifeline. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, are you guys ready to start? I am going to start a new canvas to start from scratch. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, thank you for your sweet comments. Oh my gosh, from Saudi Arabia. My gosh, that is far. I would love to know, Shad, what time it is for you in Saudi Arabia right now. That'd be pretty cool. All right. Have you used the new Procreate small floating window reference? Henry, talk to me about this at the end of this because I want to know about that. Of course, I don't know that feature. No. All right, Kelly, I'm glad that you're ready to go because we are going to go now, okay? All right. Well, D-Wade, the pleasure is entirely mine. So let's warm up. We're going to use our brush. We're going to push the opacity all the way up, okay? We're going to do 100% opacity with this. And we're going to put the brush size at, let's say, 27%. What about 30%, okay? 30% brush size. Also, select your eraser to be also the shell brush. And remember that we just totally canceled the streamline feature on that brush. Guys, I lost my voice earlier this week in class. I need a drink. And this is not me promoting Coke. I just love Coke. Here we go. All right, Rick, have a good day at work. I know that you work on Saturdays as well. Thank you for being here with us. Even for a few minutes. It's great. All right. Oh, thank you, guys. Okay. Yeah, these sessions, I'm telling you, have been, pretty crucial. Let's put it this way. Okay, so Sarah has a very oval face, right? And the hijab is definitely stressing that feature, right? And we're not dealing with hair. Most of the hair is covered by the hijab. And I really want to convey that as well as I possibly can. We don't have an excellent photo to work from, to tell you the truth. It's actually a little blurry. But what I like doing is start extremely, extremely loosely, okay? That looseness is going to just liberate my hand a little bit, my wrist. And now I'm going in with the features. Actually, I'm going to push this all the way to 40%. I like this little, just a tiny bit thicker. Yeah, there we go. Really love this brush. I don't know about you guys, but if this is your first time with the shell brush, I think you're going to dig it. You know, I'm a big fan of the chalk, big fan of that too. But the shell, there's something, it has a little less texture in it. I love it all the more for that, to tell you the truth. All right, so just like that, we've got kind of the shape of the face figured out. I'm going to push the eraser all the way up so that I can get rid of some of these. Okay. A bit of hair. Don't you love this photo of Sarah where she actually has this sticker of a star on her forehead? Not sure what the story is behind this, but I really like it. Um, I'm always looking for more hijabs to draw because of the folds. I absolutely love the folds, and I'll be honest with you guys. Um, Avoiding drawing hair is always welcome because for me, drawing hair is a whole skill of its own that sometimes I don't want to have to deal with. I just want to deal with the features on the face, and that is pretty perfect for that. Okay. All right. Guys, don't worry if I don't get to your comment. You can always ask me a second time if I don't have the time to see, okay? Oh, yes, Anne. Oh, let's put this up on the screen. Long pressing on the eraser icon on Procreate will set it to the same brush you're using. Do you guys know that? For some reason, Anne, it doesn't always work for me, and not sure why, okay? That's just one of those things. But yeah, I absolutely love when that works. Okay, I'm just making very simple lines here for the fabric. It's funny that I'm actually starting with the contour of the face. Those of you who are taking classes with me probably know this, that I rarely start with what's around and then dive into what's in the middle. Not at all. This is not at all my habit. Okay, I am now lowering the brush size so that I can do these little construction lines that are going to help me with, setting hopefully my proportions somewhat right. There's the mouth, which is not quite center, okay? Like, none of us, we're not symmetrical, right? Oh my gosh, we would be so boring looking if we were. And that's also the case for Sarah, and that's quite okay. What I need to do sometimes, though, is kind of like get myself right over my canvas so that I'm not distorting anything, because this could happen. I hope everybody had a good week. And I hope that some of you will be with me through November with this new Drawing Faces with France edition. All through November, 3 classes a week, 2 and plus the live. And that really forces us to, guess what? Show up at the page and draw, right? And if we do it together, that's even better. All right, Eleni, this is an excellent question. Eleni Cronis. We are posting this afterwards in the group, Drawing Faces with France, Drawing with France, at Sktchy Art School. It's a free group. You get there and you post. You can also post it within the class that you're taking right now, which is Drawing Faces with France October edition. Either way, we will find you. Okay. Stina, I don't know why your opacity would not work. That is disconcerting. What could be the cause of that? Maybe because it's not an Apple Pencil that you're using? I have no idea. I really, because I'm only using the Apple Pencil, especially with these newer editions of Procreate. So what do I know? So you see, guys, even in what seems like a pretty symmetrical type of portrait, there's very little symmetry. Very little at all. Okay, let me see if I'm putting the eyes where they belong. Here's one. Here's the other. And again, always trying not to create that typical distortion that happens when your canvas is horizontal in front of you, you know? That's a trap, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fall in it. Gorgeous eyelashes there. All right, look at those eyes. My goodness. It's beautiful eyes. Okay. I think we're on the right path. So if you get a chance, let me know if you are actually drawing on the iPad with me, okay? Okay, I'm also trying to follow your comments, guys. I hope it's okay. Oh, Melanie, yes, of course, we can absolutely post in the Sktchy app as well, not just the Mighty Networks Sktchy Art School. Still taking a sip. Stina, you make me smile. And we still have to do our Mick Jagger, Stina, remember? We really have to do that. We've been talking about it for a while now. We have to do our Mick off. I will not let the winter go by without drawing a Mick with you, Stina. And I'm leaning towards a recent Mick, by the way. Oh, Annie, you're using a fountain pen. All right, Chris, iPad. All right. Oh, sweet. Abhisek Mahapatra, you are using the iPad. Excellent. iPad Betty, okay. Jim, pencil, excellent. Okay, very good. Teresa on the iPad too, excellent. Okay, and Fiona, I need to address that question. That's a very good question, Fiona Miller. Did you notice that it is at a little bit of a keystone? It's because I am using this. Let me try to show it to you on camera. Okay, if I can. You see I'm using this cover, which is this smart cover, I guess it's called, that comes with the iPad. And this thing rolls in the back and provides for a little bit of a slant. And that really, really saves me a lot of headache for, you know, distortion and so forth. Oh my gosh, red big pen today. Excellent. Judy, a drooling ballpoint. I think we were talking about this earlier on Instagram. Suzanne, using Procreate. Awesome. Suzanne, you know, this is one of my middle names. Cindy, iPad. Cool. Wendy, iPad. Okay. iPad as well for Kelly. Yay. And Julie Brooks, iPad but different brush. I'm curious to find out which one. All right. Dean, a Mars Pneumographic Black 2B. Excellent. Okay. Gary, pen. Oh, this is going to be good. I love a variety of media. And this is going to be true also for November, guys. You know, for the November edition of Drawing Faces with France. I want you to feel free to use the medium that you feel more comfortable with that day. If I draw pen, you can use pencil. I think ultimately you know by now that the premise of these classes that I teach at Sktchy are really about building a drawing habit, showing up at the page, showing up at the screen, and wanting to draw, really. I mean, that's what drives everything, in my opinion. Okay. All right, I'm not drawing too fast, you've noticed, because of course I'm talking to you. Danielle, you're using Bic. Danielle Desnoyers, oh my goodness. All right. Henri, I hope you like the shell brush. I'm also trying to keep up with the comments. Okay. Excellent. Bettina, I'm glad to hear that you're planning on getting Procreate. Okay, Evolve Brush, Julie. I'll check it out. I'm always looking for a brush to experiment with. I know this seems to be taking forever, and it's entirely my fault too. That this pack of brushes, the wagonized brushes that are going to come out, is underway by Georg. They're going to be the brushes that I love. And it's going to be a pack of, I believe, 12 of them. I'll talk to you about it when this is really finalized. Which it isn't, because I have a few things going on right now between teaching high school French, having to drive to work, teach with a mask all day. Oh. Okay. I absolutely love the shell brush. Love it. Right now, I'm not so much using the eraser to correct mistakes, but to really like get rid of some of these construction lines that I've got lingering here and there. I think it's good to get rid of some of them. Okay. There's something so straightforward about this kind of portrait. And by the way, everybody, whatever this camera is filming is really not what I see on my screen. What I see on my screen is a lot darker than what the camera is shooting. Yes, Betty, teaching French with a mask on is a challenge and a half. Any language with a mask on, really, frankly, it's insane. Yeah. Stina, I will tell you more about it once I have all the details of the brushes, the wagonized brushes on Procreate, which should be soon. Again, as soon as I get my act together and get them all sorted out with Georg, who is an amazing artist himself. Yeah, I'll let you know. All right. Thank you, Jenny, for answering the question. I much appreciate that. Also, Dollar, since you are just joining, just know that even though it is a calligraphy brush, we've changed the streamline to none so that it doesn't do that calligraphy grab. And I don't have a better term for it. So yeah, in northern New Jersey, we are more or less back to in-person teaching with this hybrid logic, where we have about 50% of students back in class at a time. And I have to tell you, seeing my students again for the first time since last March was beneficial, yeah. And they were great at observing all the safety protocols, and they're just great kids. This is my 25th year of teaching public school. Okay. Yeah, this really doesn't look good on camera, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? Cheryl, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's a good measure to go by, to always think, okay, let's leave about the width of an eye between two eyes. But frankly, when you really look at Sarah's face, no, that doesn't apply to her. I believe that the corner of each eye was actually a little closer together. You're absolutely right. And again, these are great standards to have to keep in the back of your mind, but it doesn't mean that they apply for every single person. So I'm glad you point this out, Cheryl. Because again, maybe a lot of these schools of drawing and so forth, and all these rules originated a long time ago. A long time ago, when our population was probably a lot less diverse than it is now, and it's not criticism or anything like that, but obviously a lot of these standards were based on probably the way white people look, you know. But absolutely, it's nice to have those standards in mind, but it's also nice to recognize that they don't apply to some of our muses. So Cheryl, thanks for the comment. I really appreciate that. All right. My MacBook is making airjet sounds. Oh, good question, Julie. Thank you for asking. So, do I use a paper-like screen protector? Absolutely, Julie. I use one. I'm gonna type it up in the chat. Okay, it's called Super Shields with a Z, believe it or not, at the end. And Super Shields exists for iPads. I use it for my small iPad too. I use it on my daughter's iPhone. I don't use one on my iPhone. I don't like a screen protector on the iPhone. But they exist also for the gigantic iPad Pro. They're not easy to put on, but they do have a little bit of a paper feel, and they do prevent, the fingerprint and the glare. So it's really a great thing to add. Super Shields. Yeah. And the brush, Cheryl, is Shale Brush, but we totally annihilated the streamline feature on that brush. So it comes from Calligraphy, Cheryl. I'm sorry that it's not looking better on camera. It looks actually a lot better just from my eyes, but obviously we are limited with the way the camera registers the screen of the iPad. We have to live with that for now. It's not great. Okay, let's see if there are features that I'm forgetting about. I'm not crazy about this line I've just made. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, I don't like this either. There, it's much better without. So I'm keeping this portrait very high contrast. Love it this way. And keeping the cross hatching very sketchy. because that's really how great it looks. Okay. A little bit of hatching here in the bottom half of the face, but I don't want to exaggerate it. Just a little. Right there at the edge of the chin and the jaw. And again, the shell brush totally delivering on its promise. I love this brush so much. Hope everybody's doing okay, and that this portrait is as enjoyable to draw from paper than it is on the screen. I'm totally enjoying the flow of the brush right now. And keeping things extremely loose. We're lucky actually that this fabric is so easy to convey. It's dark. Okay. And then a little bit of shadow underneath her chin that is cast onto the folds of the hijab here. See how pretty that is? There you go. A little bit of shadows there. Looks like a hoodie otherwise. Right underneath it. Okay, I'm going to push the size of this brush all the way up now. Okay. That'd be an interesting thing to bring up. Do you sometimes make a portrait on Procreate? Oh, I went too fast. And use different brushes in one. So for instance, when I draw with my 6B compressed charcoal, that's usually for the start. And then when I start getting into the detail, then I go into, 6B pencil, let's say, right? So my question to you is, and this is in reaction to what Kelly is saying. Kelly, you said I usually use the shell brush for eyelashes. Totally understandable. I get it. Do you guys do that a lot? Go back and forth between brushes when you use the iPad? I don't personally, not a whole lot. Like for instance, today I was, definitely determined to do it all with one brush. That brush was going to be the shell brush, period. Maybe a little bit of stubbornness there. Curious to find out. Okay, so far I have not touched layers, but I'm curious to find out what if I make a darker background behind Sarah's head, what it's going to look like. So if I want to do that, I'm going to open another layer, which is very rare for me, and try to do something dark like this in the background. I don't know if it's a good idea, but since I'm doing it in a layer, I'm not feeling very committed, And maybe keeping things a little dynamic like this. Why not? Okay, so everybody, those of you who have just joined, you know that we are continuing Drawing Faces with France into November. And so we're just going to roll right into that class as soon as November starts, whether it's a Monday or a Wednesday that first class is going to happen, or maybe a Saturday. You're getting 20% off if you use Faces with France as a code at Sktchy. And oh my gosh, I see a lot of glare on that screen. Sorry about that. And buy one, get one, 80% off of any other class at Sktchy or whatever you want to buy with the code. With the code, let's see, what was the code again for buy one, get one off? Guys, what was it? BOGO, I think. BOGO 80. Okay. Yeah, I think I like the dark, Anne. I think I dig it. Yes. Cool. Yes, Phyllis. Absolutely do that. You feel free to enter any of these drawings. You're free to do so. That would be amazing. So, Kelly, I think I'm with you there. I tend to stick to one. Absolutely. Yep. And yes, it's going fast today. It's not always the case. Not always the case. Yeah, there's something really kind of graphic comic like, like the comics that I grew up reading when I was a kid, with very high contrast. Love those. Okay, so you know what I have not drawn yet? It's that star that Sarah put on her forehead. So let's see. And I really love the fact, Diego, that you use this, you're a really good drawer. I love that. I used the word drawer once in an exam when I was in high school. I was being tested on my English, and I said drawer for illustrator or artist. I said the word drawer, and I got reprimanded for using the wrong word. And for me, drawer makes so much sense. I like it. It's not just a piece of, furniture. I like using drawer for somebody who draws. Somebody who dreams is a dreamer, somebody who draws is a drawer. That's all there is to it. I'd rather consider myself a drawer than an artist, you know what I mean? What do you do? Well, I'm an artist. No, I'm a drawer. Because I draw. I don't know how artsy it gets, but it's definitely drawing. So, Diego, I appreciate the use of that term. All right, so I didn't draw that star. Yeah, I got probably a point off for using the word drawer. I'll always remember that. That was over 30 years ago, maybe. Okay, so here's that star. So right now it's too dark. I'm going to probably put a little bit of eraser on that. Oh, too much. Let's lower. Oh, I just realized that the shale brush doesn't have a great opacity setting, meaning whatever opacity you have is kind of the same whether you push it up or down, and that's okay. There, it's just a little more discreet. There's that star. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to wrap this up. I'm not leaving yet, obviously. I really would like to know if you guys have any questions regarding the current class, Drawing Faces with France October edition. And if you want to ask me any questions that you might have with the use of Procreate today, anything like this, I would love to be able to answer because we always end these sessions in a little bit of a panic. Oh gosh. I'm glad, Dean. That's good news. Okay. Yeah, Cheryl, I'm definitely not somebody who paints a whole lot, except when I draw cars, in which case I use my watercolors. But I haven't done that in a while. So, yeah, absolutely. I think pen, pencil are my go-to media. And obviously anything on Procreate works really well for me. Okay, so if I stop here, I think I've got Sarah Makawi pretty much rendered. I don't want to exaggerate anything, you know, I'm at the point right now, like right here, where if I add too much, if I keep talking and I add too much, then it's going to be an overload. Like I'm going to, turn that corner and it's going to be like, oh, darn, I should have stopped 5 minutes ago. So, boom. Obviously, what you see on camera right now really is not like what I see on my end, which is too bad because there's a big difference in what my eyes are processing. Okay, let me see if I can put my signature on this portrait in white. Boom, there we go. And that's my take on Sarah, even though hold on, I haven't said my last word yet. I just want to darken a little bit inside. There you go, the white of the eyeballs. All right, so we have about 10 some minutes, 13 minutes. Let me know if you would like to ask me any questions. Okay, yes, Anne. Okay, I'm going to try to work my way up the comments. So, Anne, can we zoom in on the eyes? Absolutely. So, take a look. Oh, this is really not great with this camera. But hopefully, you will see it even better when we post it later on Sktchy Art School. Yeah, the camera tends to lighten things when I really don't need it to be light. I'm trying to darken it, but it's not really doing the trick. Okay, so these are the eyes. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, Madeleine, absolutely. You can start with the eyes. And I think this is the beauty of never having been taught because I never took a formal art class. I took a typography class one day with Ed Bengat, and it was an amazing experience. But in terms of drawing the human face, drawing the body, drawing in general, I never had any training in that. And it's, of course, a blessing and a curse. But the part about being a blessing is that I really am not encumbered with rules at all. I just start with whatever I want. If you want to start with the tip of the nose, go for it. That's the idea. Okay. All right. So, Kelly, let's see your question. For November, will you use any new tools? Yes and no. I try to always keep my tools cheap, affordable, and just try not to stray away from that because I don't want people to think. Again, the iPad is bad enough, obviously, that it's it costs a lot of money, and I can't say, well, you need this $900 pen in order to create what I'm creating. So I definitely try to keep it simple, cheap, photocopy paper or sketchbook paper. A $20 Moleskine is usually all it takes. Okay. All right. I agree, Madeleine. You're saying this right. Indeed. So, Frank, let me see. Can we do a... Oh, yes! Frank, I'm so happy you asked. Yes, a big resounding yes. We are going to do a profile portrait because I already have a lineup of muses. And, well, that's all I can say so far. But yeah, profile, yes. Indeed, Frank. Thank you for asking. No, Julie, I do not. Well, no, okay, I shouldn't say no categorically like this. I have used charcoal before. I'm not a fan of it, but that's also because I'm still very new at it. Pastel, never. I've never touched pastels. I know that they're a little waxy, I think, when you use them. Um, I definitely have years ahead of me, hopefully, to experiment with these things. But the answer is no, I have not used pastel, unfortunately. Okay. All right, all right. Let me see. Henry, I had no idea that N. Bengat passed away about a week ago. That's amazing. I had no idea. That is so sad. The evening classes that I was taking with him at the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan, I knew he was older, but wow. Okay, that's sad. Thank you for telling me, Henry. Of course, these kinds of deaths don't make the news, right? Yeah, he is an icon. He offered me a ride back to New Jersey one day, and I had to say no because I had my return ticket already with NJ Transit. Oh, all right, because I know he lived in Jersey too. Okay. I always tend to start differently each time I start a portrait. I usually start with the first thing that catches my eye or a feature that I really want to emphasize. That's usually what it is for me too. It's what drives the drawing, right? It's the stuff that you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to convey this, and you start with it. So yeah, I get it, Kelly. With you on this. I'm putting away this particular. Ooh, the microphone probably changed. I hope the sound is still good. I just turned off my other camera to talk to you directly. And by the way, I want to show you the drawing as is. You will see it probably look slightly different from what it is here on my screen. I don't know. Okay, so this is what we drew today, and this is what we are going to put in Drawing with France on Sktchy Art School. All right. Okay. Which iPad do you use, Eleni? What size is best? Okay. So, Eleni, I recommend using a big iPad. Of course, that makes sense because you can, use the split screen, which is an amazing feature. So what I have here is a 12.9 iPad, almost 13 inches. I find that drawing on the mini, which I have here too, is a little small, but it's more portable. So really, frankly, it's up to you. I like the bigger one, and if they make an even bigger one, I'm sure I'm gonna get my hands on it and buy it because the bigger the real estate, the better, as far as I'm concerned for drawing. So I hope that answers your question, Eleni. And this is, by the way, a November 2018 iPad. It's 2 years old, and it's still doing the job. Yes. All right. Ask me any question, guys. We still have a little bit. I'm so glad you say hauntingly beautiful. And I was listening to Stevie Nicks yesterday. You know that line from Edge of 17 when she sings, it was hauntingly familiar. I don't know why, but I love that line. And I love Stevie Nicks. So it just reminded me of Stevie Nicks. Thank you, Anne. Always the right words. Okay. Yeah, it does look a little different on the camera from the MacBook, right? So, guys, are you ready to put yours up on Sktchy Art School? I will mine too. Just now, after this, I'm going to run to Sktchy Art School and post mine. Okay. Uh, Okay, Anina Hendricks. Okay, how to share your drawing. It depends on what platform you want to use, Anina. So, what you can do if you take the class with me, stay in the class at Sktchy Art School and go to the activity stream and put it there. And that's fine. You can also put anything you want that you've drawn from something I've taught in the Drawing with France group, which is a free group on Sktchy Art School, SAS. And this is where we are going to post today as well. Okay. Julie, very good question. Did I start my digital art journey with Procreate? No, I actually started with Paper by 53. Now it's Paper by WeTransfer because it's been bought. I remember getting my first iPad. My husband at the time bought me my first iPad in 2012. And the first thing I went for was, oh, how can I sketch on this thing, right? And so I got Paper by 53, and that was my first experience. And then my friend Amanda Kavanaugh, who's an amazing watercolor artist, told me, hey, you should try Procreate. So anything she says is gospel to me. So, of course, I went and I got Procreate, and it's the best. What is it now nowadays? It's $5.99, I think, I believe. It costs the best $5.99 I've ever spent, really. Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Okay. And that's fun. I have not posted either. Karen, that's a very good question. Do you need to take the September and October Faces classes? No, it made sense, of course. This is really not sequential. It is not like I was teaching a certain skill in September that is going to be built on in October and then be built on in November. That's not necessarily the case. However, in November, you might hear me reference something that we did in October or September, but that's about the extent of it. So the answer, Karen, is absolutely not. You can start with the November class, and if you ever picked up the October one too, then you can do that afterwards. Frankly, it really, again, not sequential. So I'm glad you asked, actually, Karen. Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. So quickly, Sktchy is reminding us with the discount code BOGO80 at Sktchy, shopsketchy.com and the discount. Oh my gosh, you can use it on my new class. I wasn't sure about that. Thank you, Sktchy, for pointing it out. You can get a class and then another one with 80% off. So yay. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So yeah, Henri, you're right. Like my book does get into the iPad. It gets into a little bit of paper and brushes and a little bit of Procreate. Definitely before the days of the Apple Pencil, which, in my opinion, is the best tool that you can have with the iPad. Absolutely. I'm glad you have my book, Henry. Thank you. Those of you who wonder, I have a book out there. It's called Sketch, and you can grab it anywhere: Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or apparently any bookstore. This week, a friend of mine who lives in California sent me a photo of my book in a California bookstore. That warmed my heart. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad, Dean. Okay, you picked up the November class and the beards. Excellent. You know how much I love drawing beards, so that's very good. Excellent. All right. So, Karen, the name was, let me see if I can put it here. The name was Super Shields with a Z. Okay, Super Shields. All right. Yes, I'm going to rest my voice. You're absolutely right. And that's what I need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about 1 o'clock. That's my cue to go and probably feed the kitty. Even though she doesn't seem to be asking for too much right now, so that's good. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Sktchy Art School. Let's post, And I'll see you next week for the last week of our October class. And then we're going to roll right into our November class. I hope you guys have a great week. Oh, Annie, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. This was the 32nd today, 32nd uh, Saturday live sesh in a row. All right. And yes, do tag the Muse on Instagram if you know how to find her on Instagram. Everybody, have a great week, okay? I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Besos, abrazos. Okay, ciao.